Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of For Torrey. I'm Nathan. My name is Nathan Lowry, and alongside me, I have got my good friend and my co-host, Mr. Torrey Clyburn. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Doing very good. Really quickly, we want to introduce ourselves a little bit. We used to work back at a little TV station back in the day.
Called Learn TV.
That is the one where we first met. Back when I was a student, he was a teacher.
Yes.
And through a little bit of talking and a great friendship that created all throughout 7 years now. We've been friends.
It's been 7 years?
7 years, dude. Now we are
Good
going
stuff.
on our 7th year as good friends. Through that time, you commentated basketball. I ended up coming on eventually. We commentated together. We created a debate show back in the day called Learn TV's NBA Take, and we had so much fun with that show back in the day that we thought it was just right. We had to do it justice and bring it back on a new platform.
Yeah, we couldn't just leave it right there.
No, man.
No.
The itch has always been there.
Always.
We have been talking about doing this for a while, and now we're here, and we're very excited to kick off this brand new show. We hope it stays for a long time. Hopefully you all will stay right there with us and enjoy this just as much as we do, because we love sports. We love talking sports. And not only that, we're buds. We can have fun. We can do this however we want to. We can even wear whatever we want to. We don't have to have a tie anymore.
We're not in these parameters of a school or of a boss or a dictatorship.
And the people that that we worked for, if you happen to see this, we love you dearly.
Oh,
we
yeah.
absolutely love
Come
you
on
dearly.
now.
Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for giving us the platform back in the day.
David Knight, baby.
Yes. Yeah, David, Richie, we love you two guys. Thank you for everything you did for us. But hopefully we can carry the torch on with a whole new audience and new people. And hopefully you'll stick around with us for hopefully years and years to come. But we got a full slate today. We got some cool stuff we want to talk about. We got a trade deadline that's coming up. Actually, so we're recording this on Wednesday. This is the 8th, correct? Today's the 8th.
Yes.
The trade deadline goes tomorrow for the NBA on the 9th. That is Thursday. So you are seeing this a day before the trade deadline. So if anything happens before then, we're planning to get this up on the 10th, which is Friday. We're going to be talking a little bit trade deadline, what's going on in the NBA. We got a Kyrie trade that just happened, just went down. What's Kevin Durant going to do? Is he going to stay? Is he going to ask to leave? Is he just going to wait until the offseason? Who knows? We also got a brand new all-time leading scorer.
The GOAT, LeBron James.
The GOAT, LeBron. Look at it. I
stand on it, baby.
We kicking off the show with a bang already. Not only that, but his team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Some people call them the Slackers, but that's okay. We'll go with that. We'll go with whatever. And not only that, but this Sunday we got a Super Bowl. We've got a Super Bowl this Sunday that we've got to get rid of. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, a team that's been there, done that, won a Super Bowl, lost a Super Bowl.
Who you got? Hold that thought.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hold that thought for something I'm going to bring up a little bit later on in this show. But let's go ahead and kick this thing off, man. Let's go ahead and kick off. Let's get the cool stuff out the way first.
Okay.
Let's talk about this Kyrie trade.
Oh, already?
We're kicking straight into
Wow.
it, baby. We're getting right into it. The Kyrie trade broke headlines. He asked for a trade. So Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving have been in Brooklyn for, 3 years? About 3.5 years now, give or take. They've been in there for about 3.5 years, played some great basketball together in a very limited quantity. Unfortunately, we haven't got to see them around and playing together too much. They both come in. They bring in their friend DeAndre Jordan. Kevin Durant's obviously hurt from the Achilles that he'd suffered in Golden State in that finals against Toronto.
Yeah.
He's out for this long period of time. It missed that whole first year for injury. Kyrie Irving plays, I think, only 20-some-odd games and then comes out. He's out. He's gone. Wow. He doesn't want anything. DeAndre Jordan obviously is not the same player that he was back in the Lob City days. So his contract's a little bit like, that first year was the COVID year. Kyrie doesn't
2020.
Kyrie didn't want people to play in the bubble, didn't want his team in the bubble, didn't think people should play in the bubble. Fast forward past that, you get into the next year. Kyrie, KD, we back. Kevin Durant comes out playing just as good as ball as when he, before he tore his Achilles. I mean, just groundbreaking stuff.
KD, baby.
Dude, he's amazing. That dude, he is a dog, man. He is a dog. He is an awesome dude. But then, a big trade happens. James Harden arrives in town. Oh, man, you've got James Harden, Kyrie, Kevin Durant. Those three names say 200 points.
Looks good on paper, right?
Beautiful. I mean, a dynamic trio for the ages. Their best defense is offense, and by George, they can all put up offense. Two MVPs, guys that had what James Harden was scoring in Houston. What I think he was averaging 30.
Yeah,
easy averaging 30. Just doing what he done. He was an MVP. Kevin Durant was an MVP. Kyrie, a champion, hitting one of the biggest shots in clutch time history.
In the finals.
Back
in Cleveland.
Oh, man. And
it doesn't get you started.
And it was for you. But 20 games later, it ends. They get into the playoffs that first year.
Yeah.
Handled a kind of a injury-riddled Boston Celtics team.
Yeah.
Swept them, if I remember correctly. Get into against the Bucks. Kyrie gets hurt.
And this is what, 2021?
Yes. Yeah, Kyrie gets hurt. James Harden pulls a hamstring. No guys are out. Kevin Durant is, if his foot is like a millimeter shorter, they're going into the conference finals. The next year, vaccine mandate.
Yeah.
Kyrie doesn't get it. Kyrie doesn't want it. Kyrie says, screw it.
And then with that, he takes his absences, the little personal days, if you will, for himself, too, all in the same season.
Yeah. He doesn't show up. So the vaccine mandate in New York, if I remember correctly, you could not work in the state of New York without the vaccine. There was a mandate with that. He could technically play away games, but Brooklyn said, screw it. You're not playing with us fully. You're not playing with us at all. Forced him at home. James Harden gets a little aggravated. Kevin Durant, for some odd reason, has one of his weird all-star break injuries. Like he's kind of got right now.
Yeah.
Right? He's kind of like, he hasn't been in the all-star. He's been the captain of the all-star team the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
He's played in none of them.
Wow.
Because he's always been hurt. It's kind of weird, but hopefully he'll be back before this all-star break happens. But he gets out there. James Harden gets sick of it. Brooklyn Nets say, screw it, Kyrie. You can play away games. You can't play at home, but you can play away. That's fine. We'll let you do that. James Harden gets a little sick of it, gets a little tired of it, requests a trade right before the all-star break, gets out to the 76ers. What's going to happen? It's okay. It's okay. Even though James Harden's gone, which is a massive beat, and you've got Ben Simmons back. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons.
Whole nother story and topic for another time. It's crazy.
I don't know. It ain't much of a topic anymore. They say, hey, it's okay. We still got KD. We still got Kyrie. They get back on the court together. Okay. Kyrie can now play home and away games towards the end of the season. Go up against the Boston Celtics and swept. Out of there. Not given. It was the closest sweep, I think, in NBA history. The games were decided by a couple of points, every single one of them. Which, this has something to say, right? That's pretty cool. Yeah. Also didn't have Joe Harris during that year either. But then it comes to this year. Everything's cool. Kyrie, KD, rolling. They're rolling. They're moving. Ben Simmons is, And then he goes on a hot streak. All right, Ben Simmons, here we go. And then Ben Simmons falls off. Not surprised. It was crazy. He did like Anthony Davis did this year. Was cold, got on this massive hot streak, and just died off again. Yeah. It's weird. And he doesn't seem like he doesn't want to play either. Well, that's just neither here nor there. But KD goes down. He's out. Before then, we had the anti-Semitic stuff that happened with Kyrie.
Yes, he in the last 3 or maybe 4 years, he's had a lot of things going on.
Yes.
With that Brooklyn organization.
Yes.
A lot of things.
And some people look at and predate it all the way back to when he asked out in Cleveland. and also when he was in because he wanted to get out of Cleveland because he didn't want to play under LeBron anymore. Wanted his own team. Got to Boston, realized it wasn't all what it was cracked up to be. Called LeBron, apologized to LeBron, told the Boston Celtics, "I will resign here as long as you'll have me in front of the fans."
Yep.
Got out of that. Got out of there the second free agency happened. Literally, I was watching the free agency thing. Like, he got out of there the second he could.
Oh, definitely.
But now, playing great, no distractions. He's awesome. Now he's requested a trade, and he's now a Dallas Maverick.
And I mean, the reason why is because he said it himself. If you heard the interview and what he said about it, he wasn't celebrated with all the stuff that he put Nets through and Nets put him through. I mean, he was not celebrated, just tolerated. They wasn't transparent. That's the word he used. There was no transparency with him. It's like they didn't like him. No, I get it. I get it. You got a player that just you're thinking in your mind. You're thinking, oh, he's whining about this. It's always something with him. He's a headache. The headline says Brooklyn. I think the Brooklyn newspaper or something like that said he's your headache now. It's just a struggle. He's always had these issues.
I saw where the mayor even said something like, "Yeah, he's glad that he's gone."
Yeah.
Do you think he kind of brought some of that on himself though?
He did bring some of that on himself. He wasn't very communicative when about the absences and what his purpose was with the COVID thing. He just decided to, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. I mean, you're not kind of giving the Nets some, you're not meeting them halfway. I think, to
well, not only that, I think
find
we
a
have
compromise.
I think you have to look what really. This is from insiders reports. There's sources saying that he was perfectly fine playing, but then he wanted his money. He wanted the long-term contract extension, and the Brooklyn Nets said, "No, we will not give you a long-term extension." I believe, if I heard this correctly, the extension, they were going to give him a 3-year extension, but the third year was primarily based if the team had won a championship. That's when the third year of money would be guaranteed. He and I think it was either his aunt or his mother that serves as like an agent for him. Decided, nah, we ain't doing that, and we're getting out of here.
But what superstar caliber player like Kyrie gets that kind of gets that kind of extension deal with those clauses?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the fact that you've had a lot of issues with him. You've had a lot of issues. He's played, if I remember the percentage correctly, not even 50% of the games that he was eligible to play.
Yeah.
He did not play 50% of them in 3.5 years. So I can understand where you're having issues guaranteeing money through him and you're having issues giving a long-term contract. I can see that. But to have any year of your contract primarily based on winning a championship, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
I don't care what sports you're in.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're on the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors, that's still a hard thing. Like, even I wouldn't agree to that, and I don't think anybody ever would. So I can understand where he would be upset, or his representation would be upset of having that, of saying, "Oh, you have to win a championship. You have to win all these games, win championships."
Well, Brooklyn wanted to prove. They wanted Kyrie to prove his value because he hasn't been proving it.
Yeah,
and so as an organization,
you think they could find a different way to do that though?
Exactly. I think there was plenty of different options to do that. If you want him to play, then give him the contract. Don't give these clauses. If you don't want him, fine. But if you do, then treat him like a normal player.
Right.
COVID has hit everybody in different ways and hard. I think COVID just set everybody off in different ways. You kind of got to give them that. I mean, you have a bubble year of the NBA, if that tells you anything. I mean, you have players in all sports that had problems with or set out, because they just didn't want to get the vaccination or whatever.
I think Andrew Wiggins is a big one in that because Golden State kind of had the same exact, like the city of San Francisco obviously kind of had that same mandate, and Andrew Wiggins was very hesitant about it, but he ended up getting it himself. As a person that did not get it, more power to you. Whatever you want to, whatever you feel like you need to do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
When Kyrie did the vaccination thing, I could understand that. I can respect him for that. I personally don't hold that against him at all. If that's what he decided, because he did give up money doing that too.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't say, like, I'm not taking it, but also pay me my money. He didn't do that. He said, I understand I'm going to forfeit money. I understand I'm going to forfeit time. Even though, I mean, I would think, and I'm just going to assume that he had conversations with KD and James Harden at the time as well, letting them know, like, hey, guys, I understand what you're doing. I guess I just, this is a personal thing for me. I get it. I'm with you. If that's what you want to do, perfectly fine. If you didn't, I don't care. But when it comes to the other stuff, I kind of have some issues with a lot of the time that especially that first year, it kind of made the assumption of, I don't want to play unless Kevin's playing. And that's kind of sucks. But also, like, they came in, they got the keys to the kingdom.
They did.
They said, oh, this is the coach that you want. All right, cool. Yeah. You want that coach? They even said they were talking on like a Zoom call, but it was live or Instagram live or something along that lines, where they said, oh, we don't even need a coach. Like, come on, dude. Like, everybody needs a coach. Like, come on. Like, even, let's go back to the 16-17 Warriors. Even they needed a coach in a Steve Kerr. They need a great coach. I mean, the big three, Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, they needed a coach. Shaq, Kobe, they needed a coach. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, they needed a coach. Showtime Lakers.
LeBron needed a coach.
Yeah, I'd say. Because, I mean, especially after that first series. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But, every team, I don't care or every duo, every team, they need a coach. And when they hired Steve Nash, I was like, I mean, maybe.
I mean, he was a great point guard. Floor general.
Fantastic.
I mean, the offense ran through him. So you would think that would
had a personal relationship to Kevin Durant because helped him a lot during Golden State.
You think that would transfer him to being a decent coach, at least making results, at least getting to conference finals, and if not finals. I mean, that's what you think it would transfer to. You got Steve Nash, Hall of Famer. You got Kevin Durant. You got Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to bring results. That's what
and I
the
think
organization spend their money on.
And when people say that, hey, it might very well be the biggest disappointment in history, I might have to agree with him on that.
Yeah.
Especially with all that talent.
All that talent. I mean, KD. I mean, come on. Kevin Durant.
As a walking bucket. James Harden. Even though he kind of had an off year last year. Did have an off year.
Well, that said something that I wanted to get into about teams, in the last, 10, maybe 15 years, stacking superstars on one team, single team. How has that worked since LeBron won his championships in Miami?
Now, I think we have to look a little bit before then, and you look at the Boston Celtics.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what the Celtics did, won a championship, went up against Kobe, lost, and then was getting ready to get back but got knocked out by the Heat, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong. But they got knocked out by the Heat. Obviously, the Miami Heat, I don't believe, happened unless the Celtics did what they did with the trade and everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, I understand LeBron was having some issues in Cleveland, but that's just neither here nor there. I'm not going to say that. He did have a lot of issues over there. Like, there was some stuff going on that shouldn't be going on. But so far, every single one it's happened has worked.
But before the Heat went to their last finals.
Well,
it hasn't worked since then.
The Warriors.
They didn't stack superstars. That was drafted.
Well, they drafted it, but then they added Kevin Durant on a 73-win team.
Yeah. But I mean, they already won the I think that's the what would you call it? Excuse or I mean, they already won a championship without him.
Mm-hmm. But you can even say that Draymond Green,
the exception,
the Cavaliers championship. I would say that one because you did put Kyrie, LeBron. You drafted Kyrie, but LeBron comes back. You trade Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. You get Kevin Love in there. Tristan Thompson's going crazy. You bring in all these pieces. You ended up winning a championship. Even Draymond Green himself said that the 2017 team was probably the best Cavaliers team. He says, unless we have Kevin Durant, we don't win that series. And actually, if you look, I know it went out in 5 games. That series could have easily went 6.
Yeah.
If Durant doesn't hit that amazing Game 3 shot, that series is going 6. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. And when he hit it, I was like, wow. And even Game 5 wasn't all that lopsided, really. Golden State just happened to pull away at the end. Now, the first 2 games were blowouts, but, who knows? But, since that time, then, yeah, nothing happened. Unless you account for Kawhi going to the Toronto Raptors. But
no, I don't count that, and I don't think Kevin Love was a superstar at that time. Mm-hmm. He was the man at Timberwolves, but I think he was over the hump when he came to Cleveland Cavaliers. He wasn't the post-up guy that we knew and rebounding guy.
Well, I will say this. He did transform his game into becoming a perimeter all-star.
He did.
And that's what they needed him to do, and he did it flawlessly.
A role that they needed. Mm-hmm. And that further brings my point. You stack all these stars who really don't play roles. They need the ball in their hands. But when you have teams like Golden State Warriors or those...
Okay, so you're talking about primary ball handlers. Okay, they're not going to understand where you're coming from that.
Yeah, well, primary ball handlers, but, hey, they need the ball in their hands, and they're going to do something with it. I mean, they're just good ISO players. They can shoot. They can take the games on the back. Mm-hmm. James Harden, Kyrie, KD, LeBron James, Steph Curry. Those guys.
I think the big 3 right there with the Harden, Irving, and Durant. That is probably the first time that's happened. Probably since Chris Bosh always had the ball in his hands in Toronto. Yeah. Dwayne Wade, Finals MVP, had won championship. LeBron obviously was the primary, but I can understand that. Yeah, I see that for sure, absolutely. But now you've got that same situation right now. Kyrie, Luka Doncic. How do you think it works?
It could work. I mean, of course, it could work either way. Those guys have to buy in. One of those guys has to buy into a role. Now, remember, Dwayne Wade was the guy. Mm-hmm. They was talking about MVP. He won the championship. Shaq left. Go throughout the years. He was averaging 28 points doing that run since Shaq. Oh, yeah. He talks to MVP. It was between him and Kobe. Kobe won that year. What was it, 08? 08, Kobe won it. Yeah. He was right there. I'm talking about this guy was just as good as anybody in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He took a role under LeBron. He took a role. He bought into that role.
Yeah, he even told LeBron himself, like, this team isn't working unless you're you.
Exactly.
That was amazing.
Exactly.
Brian Windhorst has been talking about that maybe this team is going to work very similar. Because if you look how Luka Doncic plays, he's like a poor man's LeBron James.
Yeah.
So people are thinking that it may end up being just like that, where Kyrie's going to have to buy in, but also Luka on another aspect. This is what LeBron's really good at, is when they played together in Cleveland, he would give the ball up early in the shot clock. That's what he would do. And now Luka is, and even some of his teammates have kind of complained about how they only get a couple seconds left whenever they do get the ball. So it's what do you do? So maybe I think both guys are going to have to compromise here.
You have to.
They are, because Luka it's been nothing but Luka.
Yeah.
In Dallas. I mean, I get you had the Porzingis thing that kind of flopped. They had some spurts. It flopped really. Christian Wood, who they brought in over the summer, made a big trade for, has played okay. He's not this big mega ultra superstar that they're talking about that they thought that he would be, but he's been all right. But now you bring in another guy like Kyrie. You got that Cleveland number 2 back on too, by the way. I'm in the first. He makes his debut tonight, as a matter of fact. Wow, he makes his debut tonight, but Luka's not there. Luka's hurt right now, so it's going to be his team for a little bit. Then what happens?
They're going to have to work on buying in. They're going to do some trade-offs during the game. Mm-hmm. It's going to be Luka for a little bit. It's going to be Kyrie for a little bit. They could trade off like LeBron and Kyrie did in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. That was a solid trade-off. You see LeBron, he'll probably bring up the ball or, middle of the shot clock, you give it to LeBron. And then you got Kyrie, in some points of the game, Kyrie doing his thing. I think there's just going to have to be some trade-off. They're going to be Luka has time with the ball. Kyrie has time with the ball.
Well, Kyrie did do one thing back when James Harden and Kevin Durant were there. All of them. All three of them. He did a really good job of learning to play off the ball.
Yes.
And he's going to have to re-buy back into that role. Will he do it? We will see very soon. But I have faith that he will do that. I have faith that he will do it.
I think the key is passing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as simple as it sounds. You just need to pass the ball.
Yeah.
You're in trouble, pass the ball. Make a play. And it just so happens to fall in Kyrie's hand. Okay. It just so happens to fall in Luka's hand. Okay. But you got two players who can shoot, who can score. So pass the ball. Play as a team, and it will come. Look at the Golden State Warriors, prime example.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Pass the ball, and guess what? It ends up in Stephen's hands anyway, and he makes the play.
Yeah, they and you know I saw a little thing where Draymond was talking about when Coach Kerr came to the Warriors first off, and they were doing practices for the first time, and he was teaching that passing system.
Yeah.
And he says it was a headache, but once it got in, once it clicked, dude, look what we did. The biggest problem the Mavs have right now is who's playing defense because Luka's not doing it and Kyrie's not doing it.
that is a problem.
Their best defense is their offense,
right? And
that's a deadly offense. Don't get me wrong.
Your offense can confront a defense. To be honest with you, if your offense is deadly, you got teams that want to try to compete. That's a part of defense. Mm-hmm. When teams say, "Oh man, we gotta score too." And it messes up the offense that you have, the chemistry on the court for that game. When you got Luka shooting, Kyrie shooting, they scoring. But then at the end of the day, when you come up against good teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, like the Celtics right now, you got to play some defense, buddy.
Yeah, and
no
right
way
now, if you're talking about just the Western Conference that they have to get through first,
you've
got the Denver Nuggets. And those Jokers are playing good. Our old colleague, Mr. TJ Armbrust, is probably having a good time.
He's sleeping like a baby.
Oh, dude, yeah. The Broncos, not so much. But the Nuggets are doing hot.
Jokic, he's averaging a double-double right now.
He is the leader right now, potentially, for the MVP honors for a third straight time.
They are at the top of the conference right now. Celtics, primarily, I know you're watching this right now, but Celtics has the best record in the league right now, but they're just half a game back.
Right.
Yeah, so it's Denver at the top, and then you got the Grizzlies and Sacramento Kings. I'm surprised with the Sacramento Kings.
The Sacramento
They've
Kings
been so bad for so many years, and now they're third in the West.
Dude,
in the Western
when is the last
Conference.
time you've said those words? Probably back in
back when I was a kid, man.
Yeah, but it's been a
back
long
in Doug
time.
Christie days and Divac. They don't even know. They don't. Vlade Divac. You don't even know
I was about
about
to
that.
say the owner or the GM. He was on that team. Like he was on one of those
Right,
teams.
yeah.
Like he was playing for the team.
That's
and now
when
he's the
was
GM,
Chris
the
Webber.
owner.
That's when they was good.
Yeah, back in the
don't
Chris
remember
Webber
when they
days.
was being good at any other
Golly,
time.
bro.
So,
man.
yeah, that's good for Sacramento Kings.
Oh, dude,
Fox is coming to his own.
Dude, Aaron Fox is doing good. You got what is it? They still got Buddy Hield over there, or did they trade him?
They traded him.
He's with Indiana right now.
Yeah,
But Domantas Sabonis.
Sabonis,
Woo!
yes.
That white boy can play. That dude's good, man. I like that dude.
They are sharing the ball. Everybody's scoring. The starting five has 15 or better, averaging 15 or better for the season right now. So hey, that's good for the Sacramento Kings.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
We are in trade deadline times, and there is a team that not mentioned on this list. Let me see right here. The Phoenix Suns. Currently, as they sit right now, they are sitting 30-26. Devin Booker is out right now with an injury. I do believe he's
coming back.
He's coming back pretty soon.
Yeah,
but
I think he's playing tonight.
Is he playing tonight?
Playing
Okay,
tonight.
so then
Not
he's playing tonight.
But he'll be unplayed.
Yeah. Like I said, we're recording this on Wednesday. Kevin Durant has been linked to the Phoenix Suns back during the offseason when he requested a trade. That team was looking heavily into trading for him or wanting to trade for him. But right now, you got the trade down to come up. We were just talking about the Kyrie Irving thing. Do you believe that a potential deal will be made before tomorrow? Like I said, we're recording this on Wednesday. Before tomorrow's deadline on Thursday, February 9th.
For Kevin Durant.
For Kevin Durant.
No.
I'm with you.
I mean, they already gave up Kyrie.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
but, it will beg the question, if you are Kevin Durant and you look at the team. Now, don't get me wrong. They got Dorian Finney-Smith back. They got Spencer Dinwiddie back in the trade. But I'm pretty sure they got some draft capital, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They got all that stuff back. If you are Kevin Durant, what really got him was when Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin were playing together. They had that little playoff run. Unfortunately, everybody gets hurt, and then he signs that contract extension.
Yeah,
that's really that he should have never have signed it. And I understand why he did it, because I mean, you're right there. You're like a foot, a centimeter away from going to the conference final.
What did Kyrie say? He's not going to leave.
Yeah, he said, "I'm not leaving my boy 7. I'm not leaving my guy 7."
That's what I'm saying. So what else are you going to do?
And you couldn't foresee what was going and was.
I don't think he really cared about James Harden, because James Harden's just different.
Yeah,
I don't think James Harden would have. He didn't do as good.
Right.
In that offense with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, he didn't do as good. So he didn't care about James Harden. He wanted Kyrie. If he knows Kyrie is on the other side,
that was his boy.
He's staying. He's going to sign away.
Right. That is his boy. And
now you got an OKC situation in Brooklyn Nets. You do. You got Kevin Durant is the guy. You got some pieces. You might make it far, but you ain't winning no finals with that.
At least they got a point guard. At least they got a point guard that can actually shoot, unlike Russell Westbrook. But that's just neither.
You think you're going to get past the Celtics?
No, absolutely.
You think you're going to get past the Bucks?
I don't think they're making. I mean, they'll make the playoffs, but they'll get bounced out in the first round. My personal opinion. But if you are Kevin Durant, do you want to trade out of here, or do you want to see, now that Kyrie's gone, the distractions are gone, let's say that, do you say, all right, Brooklyn, do you see what you can build for me?
Well, they got some pieces on there right now.
Yes, they do.
Nick
Claxton is a man.
And Cam Thomas played out of his mind a couple days ago.
Never smiles.
Played out of his mind. He had a view. He's the youngest since LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Scored 91 points in 2 games.
Yes, 40 plus.
God,
2 games.
91
He was
points.
out of his mind. I think that's hopeful.
Yeah. You got to see that and say, hey.
But then bumping up against that trade deadline, I'm like, you know what? I got some pieces here. It's really close to the trade deadline.
Yeah, we're less than 24 hours now.
I gotta see this through right now.
Yeah.
I gotta see what's going on.
You think he might trade in the offseason? You think he might ask for another trade?
Depends on what happens, man.
That is very true. That is very true. And I heard that somebody threw this out there today that potentially it was Mike Greenberg off of ESPN. I love that dude. That he would, if he was Rob Pelinka, he would be calling Joe Tsai and Sean Marks right now and saying, I will give you the 2 first rounders and Anthony Davis for Kevin Durant.
That would not happen.
Probably not. No.
That would never happen.
Think about it, how cool that would be, though.
Injury prone AD? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think AD has as much.
He's played less games than Kyrie.
That is true. Always hurt. But think about this. Since KD and Kyrie joined the Brooklyn Nets, the Lakers did win a championship. So I guess you can say that. Boost your value a little bit. Yeah, they did win the championship.
I mean, they won, but I mean, what correlation to it? No, I don't know.
I was about to say, do you not like the bubble year?
Oh, it counts.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
yeah, it counts.
Some people say like,
let me tell you something. If it doesn't count, then they shouldn't have played.
That is true. I'm with you on that.
All organizations agree. All players agree.
Yeah.
If it's not supposed to count, then they don't play it.
Yeah.
They just sit this year out. Sorry, it's a championship. Sorry.
That's a 4th ring. That's a 4th ring fourth ring for a Mr. Sir that we're getting ready to get into.
Them Spurs won a championship in a half season in 1999.
You
gonna take that away? Yeah. You gonna take that away? No.
Yeah.
Get out.
Wasn't there another lockout? There was another lockout year in like 12, right? Not 12. 11?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because I thought that's when they did the horse championship. I don't remember. I have to look back into that. My facts are completely off, so I'm sorry. If you're screaming at the television screen right now, I'm sorry.
It happened in 2010. What's wrong with you?
Why do you guys idiots? Oh, man. Okay. That one guy for the 4th championship. That guy's name happens to be one LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Yeah, that
Let's
dude.
talk about him, baby.
Let's talk about him.
Let's get him.
This guy just beat an all-time record, a record I don't think anybody thought would ever be broken, especially since it's been held for 38 years.
Yes.
By one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Mr. Skyhook himself.
Arguably the GOAT. You could some people's
very
GOAT.
much so. Very much like him, Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe's in that debate somewhere.
Yes.
Few like some people put Magic in there. I don't know if I agree, but hey, more power to you. But LeBron right now is 38, 39?
38.
38.
38 in December.
This dude is doing stuff at 38 I wish I could do at almost 23. I mean, seriously, this guy is amazing. He's a walking freight train. He is the dude. People don't look at him as a scorer per se because I guess he doesn't do it all super fancy like a Steph, a KD, a Klay Thompson, a Damian Lillard, for that matter. But the dude, I mean, you look at it, and the dude's always scoring 26, 27, 20. I think he's averaged 27 and a half points for his career. I mean, that's a lot of freaking points, dude.
I mean, why fix something that ain't broke?
Right.
So who cares if he's not really the finesse dribble player? And, no, he knows what he can do. He does it, and he's been doing it for 20 years, man.
Doing it for 20 years.
Stop him. Just stop him.
Yeah,
you can't.
You're not going to, man. I'm sorry. Not only that, but he's, I think, 3rd or 4th in assists.
4th in assists.
All time?
4th in assists. I mean,
that's nuts, man.
I mean, he's not getting John Stockton, but hey, he can probably get 3rd, maybe.
I don't know, man. If he keeps playing, who knows what that do? He might start. He gonna start
he
passing.
playing,
He gonna start averaging 8 points a game and is passing the rock. Hey, here you go.
Right.
Let KD get on the team. He'll be good then. Him and KD. That Rob Pelinka need to make that happen. Go ahead, man. Make that trade happen. I'm sure the Nets will take it.
Exactly.
Give them everything to get KD. But, dude, it is amazing to see this guy play basketball at the level. I keep saying, I'm thinking, like, every year going into the offseason, I'm like, man, this he's not going to be able to keep doing it. He's not going to be able to keep doing it. And he has proved me wrong year after year.
19-time All-Star. Who else is 19 times All-Star? Kareem? Maybe?
I don't know. I really don't know, dude.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Don't.
Like, I mean, look, these stats. 4-time champion, 18 times All-NBA. Of course, Rookie of the Year, 6 times All-Defensive, 3 Finals MVP, Rookie of the Year. I mean, he was a scoring champ back in the 07-08 season. That's when Kobe won that championship. No, Celtics won that championship. I mean, he's got all the stats.
We almost got a Kobe LeBron finals that year.
Almost, man. I hate that. And then he's been to 10 finals.
Then the 10 finals, 4 championships. I know people hold the 6-0 record with MJ. I'll let y'all debate that, but I still think this dude is one of the best to have ever played it. Am I gonna say greatest? I don't know. That's another discussion for another time. Let me continue to have a drink of one Diet Pepsi in order to figure that out. But it's not green this time.
It's not green this time, man.
Yeah. In case you guys don't know what we're talking about. Also, what you can also do is, since you're watching this show, why don't you just go ahead and bebop all over to also our NL10 Off Script videos, and you can see that episode 7 of the NL10 Off Script podcast happens to feature this man. We talk a little bit about everything that happened, how we met, things, creative, videography, the things that we've always loved to do. Also, a little bit about this guy's time in Iraq, over there, overseas. It was very hot, and he emphasizes that like a hot oven was blowing on him. That I think I quoted him correctly there.
Yeah.
Go over there, check out some other stuff along those lines. Let's get into a little bit about the Lakers.
Oh man,
let's talk about these Lakers, man.
Goodness, Jesus Christ!
Last year they made a trade, and I want you to say mistake or not mistake. They traded for Russell Westbrook.
Mistake.
Okay. They traded for Russell Westbrook, bringing him in. A notion that they almost had DeMar DeRozan, and LeBron decided to go the Russell Westbrook way. I really think the DeMar DeRozan thing would have really been good.
DeMar, He was at one point he was a superstar,
Yeah.
but he's a good role player. Like he's good.
Dude, he is amazing.
He's a good role player, man.
And he's turned into a pretty good scorer himself.
Yeah, he's always been a good scorer.
Yeah,
If he had
LeBron
to.
played against this dude a bunch of Toronto, which was LeBronto or something like that for a while, and they crushed it in the Drew League this year. Did you watch any of that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they crushed it in the Drew League together. I'm like, why did you guys get that guy instead? But
Great fit. That would have been a great fit.
it would have, because Russell Westbrook and him don't match. I mean, their styles are very the same, and they need the ball. That's neither here nor there. That's like the issue they got Kyrie and Luka Doncic right now. We'll see how that goes out. But last year, miss the whole playoffs. I mean, by a long margin. AD can't stay healthy. LeBron was having some issues. Evidently, Russell Westbrook couldn't stand. What was the coach? What was his name?
I don't want to say colors because you know how that go.
Yes, he was a white dude. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He coached at Indiana. God bless. Frank Vogel.
There you
Frank
go.
Vogel.
There
Thank
you go, buddy.
Woo! There we go. It's been a long day. Frank Vogel, him and Frank Vogel did not get along very well. They bring in Darvin Ham this year. Seems to be going good. Over the past couple of days, heard some stuff's been going on between him and Darvin Ham. But Russell Westbrook's been playing good. They're currently sitting, I think, about 12th in the West right now, 13th or so, 12th or 13th in the West. They got to turn. They have a chance. They have a pretty solid team. Not gonna lie, they got a pretty okay team. Is it like a championship winning team? No, absolutely not. But I think they could get in there and make some noise in the playoffs.
I mean, Russell's been playing decent in the last 4 or 5 games, but he's averaging barely 16 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the third person on the team and AD's been out for a little bit, you need to be averaging more. I mean, he's got games where he scored 10 points, 6 points, 3 points, 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to score 2 points? Are you just out there just running around?
Yeah. I will say this: when him and AD and LeBron have been on the court, he's done a really good job passing. I will say that. And the addition of Patrick Beverley, I personally believe, made them a very much better defensive team. They have played amazing on the defensive end.
I get it. Russell is he can be a good perimeter defender, but
Patrick Beverley's a pest. You got Lonnie Walker who's come in. You've got Austin Reeves, this little white kid, this little shrimp that's out there just knocking down. But I mean, big time. They just traded for Rui Hachimura. He's on the team. You got Thomas Bryant, who's playing really good at the center position for him. AD, who was slow at first, then broke out big time, had a little small injury, and is now coming back and is kind of shaky right now, but he's only a few games back in. So we'll see how he goes. We'll see if he turns it around and continues on that path that he was doing earlier in the year. LeBron's going crazy, and they've had a lot of games kind of ripped away from them. You know I'm talking about refs. You know I'm talking about refs there.
I mean,
especially that Boston Celtics one.
Yeah.
That Celtics one was bad.
Yeah, that was bad. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, 3 things I think is happening. Better coaching. I think that's what he needs to step up and be a better Ham. He needs to step up and coach a little bit better. Russell needs to get up out of there. Let's call it what it is.
Oh, breaking news. Found this out a little bit ago. They are potentially getting ready to make a 3-team trade for D'Angelo Russell out of Minnesota.
Yes.
That would help them on the scoring end, too.
Where's Russell going to?
That is something I'm not sure yet.
It's a
3-team trade. I don't know if there's picks involved, but
there's picks.
Okay, I hope they don't have to use their first round's picks. Good Lord. But if they do, they bring in a guy who's been there before, who's obviously, even though he's been around a little bit, like he went to Brooklyn and now he's in Minnesota. Did he get one more place? No, he went from, I'm pretty sure he went to Golden State. Yeah. That's right. He went he went to Golden State, then got traded up to Minnesota. Has revitalized his career in Brooklyn. Let's say that.
He did.
Got the Brooklyn Nets to playoffs, even though they got bounced out by the Sixers, yes, but dude had a great year. I think he was an all-star that year, too. He was. He was an all-star that year. Then goes over to Golden State's playing pretty good for Golden State. They make the trade. Andrew Wiggins comes in. He goes up to Minnesota, teams up with his boy Cat. Been playing great. Been doing a great job.
I mean, he's going to play his role.
Yes.
He's going to play his role.
He was a little bit more on the, I would say, the immature end in the Lakers days, and very much so in the Lakers days. But when he went to Brooklyn, it's like everything changed. Him and Spencer Dinwiddie really got that gritty mentality, I think. And he's carried that throughout wherever he's been, which I like that. And, D'Angelo Russell can still play at a very high level. So where do you see, people see this Lakers team potentially bumping into the play-in. Obviously, they got to do some work to do that, or even into the 6th seed to the playoffs and bumping straight up into there. Do you think they can do it? Do you think they can make some noise? What do you think?
Definitely. They can make some noise into the play-in. Let me see. They're like a few games back from Utah Jazz, who's in the 10th spot.
That is crazy. Think about that.
Just a few games back. I personally don't like the play-in. Just keep it the way it is. The play-in is the season. Mm-hmm. You play for your spot. You deserve it. Don't get to the 7th spot and you worked hard to get there, and then you got to play, and it's down to one game. And
I kind of missed that. I mean, I understand like the lore of it, but it's like most teams that come out of the play-in, let's just count what it is. Most teams that come out of the play-in are getting bounced out first round.
Yeah.
They are. They are. I understand that's like an idea of, you can potentially have different teams get in there that maybe normally not in there, but no matter what, they're going to probably get bounced out. That's what it is.
In the West, you got Denver Nuggets and Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, Grizzlies last year in the playoffs played who they played, Golden State.
Yeah.
And they, what was it, the semis or?
It was the semifinals. And then they got the Nuggets in the conference finals.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing in and you got to go up against Denver Nuggets and Memphis Grizzlies, good night.
Well, I mean, look at Brooklyn last year, played in, beat the Cavs, got in, and then faced the freight train of the Boston Celtics. Yeah. And I don't even like the Boston Celtics all that much. I'm sorry. But, I mean, look at what they did. I mean, you want to face that. You want to be, let's say, roughly the Atlanta Hawks, who seem to be a dumpster fire this year. But I mean, let's say you're the Atlanta Hawks. Oh, man, got in there. The Sixers as well. I didn't even mention the Sixers yet. Or the Milwaukee Bucks, if that. Do you really want to face those teams?
No.
Like, you're going to get blistered. And if you're a 10th seed, there's a reason you're a 10th seed.
But Lakers do have a shot. Things happen after the All-Star break, man.
It does. It seems like the All-Star break, the real season gets started.
Example, Golden State was middle of the pack, and they turned it on. Got to the top. I forgot which year. It was a few years ago. But I get who won the championship last year? Golden State. I think it was last year.
I'm pretty sure it was last year.
It was last year.
Yeah.
They was
like
middle
Golden
of
State
the pack.
started out hot, then they kind of died down a little bit, then they brought it back up. Then they
after
were
the All-Star
freaking nuts.
break. So it's possible right now. Lakers need to, if they're going to trade, do what you need to do, readjust, and let's get it, because it's possible. You can get into the play-in and get into the playoffs.
I think they could give some teams a run for that. I think they could give the Memphis Grizzlies like a run. I don't believe they'll beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Obviously, I'm not picking the Lakers to beat the Grizzlies, but I do believe if they got in there, that would be a very interesting series, potentially a 6-game series.
Yeah,
just hypothetically here. But who you got? Kind of predictions? Who do you think might be the? I mean, the both sides are kind of open this year.
Yeah,
quite frankly. But you got any like early predictions? Pre All-Star break for the NBA championship this year, or at least the finals?
Finals.
Now, I remember the last time I asked you this was in 2018. You said Rockets Raptors.
Wow, you just gonna bring?
Yes, I did.
7 Rockets, 6 years.
Yes, Rockets Raptors. Rockets win. That was my final pick, and I wanted to walk off set, but I couldn't do it. Go ahead.
Well, Raptors got in.
Well, they didn't make it to the finals, but they did. They did make it to the semifinals.
Who? Raptors?
Yeah, Raptors. They got knocked out by LeBron.
Yeah, man. Who made the finals that year?
Cleveland and Golden State.
I said Raptors in Houston.
Raptors in Houston. Now, Houston almost did make it to the finals. And we went to Game 7 against Golden State. So, I'll give you credit there.
Wow.
Sacramento and Cleveland.
Cleveland's doing pretty good.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet you're happy. Donovan Mitchell, man.
I know. He's
averaging
playing great.
26, 27 points a game.
Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen. I love it. Evan Mobley. I just
You have a team.
yes.
You have your pieces together.
Yes.
That's what it's about. It's not going to work without a team and everybody playing their roles.
Appreciate you everything you did, LeBron, but we there.
But early predictions, I'm saying Nuggets and give me Bucks.
I was getting ready to say I think about the exact same thing. Because I don't like the Sixers and I don't like the Celtics personally, but I can't negate the fact that they are very good teams. Something tells me about Giannis that he is mad that he lost last year, and he's coming for it. And I think he's going to prove that the Eastern Conference, just like when LeBron was in the Eastern Conference, it was his conference. I think Giannis is going, like this could be the year where he says, "Not his conference is mine. Appreciate what you did, Jason. Sit down, Jalen. Here we go." And something about the Sixers, I just don't believe in them. I never believe in them. I don't know if it's because of Doc Rivers
I'm not
or
going to
what.
believe in a guy, a 7-footer that's going to, shoot threes
Yeah.
half the game, and that's going to be who's going to take you to the promised land. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I quite frankly, I don't either. But speaking of championships, there happens to be one up for grabs this very Sunday. That would happen to be the Super Bowl Vince Lombardi Sparkly Pretty Trophy.
I like how you did that, man.
Yeah,
a little
good.
segue in there, man.
Oh, dude, yeah. I've done this a few times.
A few times,
Just a smidge. But, dude, we got a great matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs, been there, done that. Patrick Mahomes is a dude. That man just knows how. He just knows how to do it. He's probably my favorite AFC quarterback. He might be one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. Then on the other side, you got a rookie. You got a fresh young blood who's never been there before. He's new. He's only second year in the league, third year in the league, second year in the league. Last year was his first year.
Yeah.
Most notable thing was getting pulled in a national championship game playing for Alabama. Think about that. Most notable thing ever. He leads his team, a fantastic team, by the way, in the Philadelphia Eagles, all the way to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I was happy about it because I'm a Rams fan.
Moment of silence.
Yeah, for the Niner faithful, who evidently been calling for Kyle Shanahan's job, but that's a topic for another day. I don't understand that. No. I'm a Rams fan, like a diehard Rams fan, and even I don't agree with that. But let's talk about this matchup. For the Chiefs, let's talk about them really quickly. The Chiefs, for a little bit, or for the longest time, have known about their dynamic, powerful, almighty offense, but have had some defensive struggles. I mean, they haven't been known for their defense for quite some time. The first Super Bowl, unfortunately, because it's just a Niners destroy party, goes up against the Niners, and it's Pat Mahomes with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, just slinging that ball. I mean, against one of the best defenses we've saw in recent memory.
I'm sitting here silent because it's just I'm like reliving it, man.
Yeah, all right, man. Do you need a sip of water? Do you need to get in there?
Get a sip of water, man.
Just a sip of water, dude. But the Chiefs have been on a roll. Obviously, their last Super Bowl appearance was against Tom Brady and a freight train Buccaneers team that had a defense unlike any other that forced him and forced Patrick Mahomes to have to run for his life. He didn't have a full, complete offensive line. What's your thoughts on the Chiefs going into this game?
Man, I mean, they're still the full package. I mean,
defense has been playing a whole lot better too. Look at the AFC Championship game, for example.
But I mean, you got everything. Defense plays good enough because you have a fantastic offense.
Right.
I mean, Mahomes does everything. I mean, and you can see he wants it. I mean, he played on an injured ankle for two.
He looked pretty high for me.
I mean, but granted, I've had a high ankle sprain. I know how that is. I can't walk on that. He's playing on it. So I mean, he wants it, and then I mean, he's playing fantastic. Anything he does, he could do it. Now, going back to that game, there was some questionable stuff, like that third down that they redid. I've never seen that in football history.
That was a variant. I mean, it's like the referees didn't even make like a real inserted effort to try and stop it. They're just like, no.
I mean, you don't see the other referees don't see that one running on the field.
Yeah. And even
begins
the
to blow
announcers were
whistle.
talking about they never heard the whistle blow ever. But that's neither here nor there. That was some weird
But
stuff.
beyond that, you have this dynamic offense, Mahomes, who can make plays
Without Tyreek Hill.
without Tyreek Hill. His guy is, what's his name?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
That tight end. Kelsey
That's his
brothers
guy.
are also in this as well. That's pretty
Right,
cool.
right. It's the Kelce Bowl, or it could be the Andy Reid Bowl because
Yeah, no joke.
Andy Reid coached both teams.
Mm-hmm.
But you have this dynamic offense. You got, if you don't stop the Mahomes and Kelce connection, you're almost dead in the water. You got to stop that. Pachero, I think his name.
Yeah, the rookie
The
running back.
He's doing phenomenal,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a small role at the beginning of the season, and he just became into his own.
Mm-hmm.
You got other receivers.
Juju Schuster.
I mean, he could throw it to anybody, and it's going to be good. I mean, it's hard to stop that offense when you got a guy, if he's healthy enough, who can throw inside the pocket, run outside the pocket. He can throw across his body, across the field.
And he's accurate as a dime,
And he's accurate,
dude.
man. It's hard to stop that. It's very hard to stop that dynamic offense. So
Yeah. And even their defense, I think, personally, this is just me, I think this is the best Chiefs defense that we've saw out of any of the Super Bowl appearances. I think this is the best one. But you got a team on the other side of the coin. They are the complete team, top to bottom. I mean, all line up each 53, you're definitely going to pick the Eagles over them talent-wise. You got Jalen Hurts, a guy that coming into this game, we've had a lot of questions about, like, can he throw it? Can he be a kind of a pocket quarterback? Now, he's great on his feet. He can definitely run for a long way. I think he's just about as gifted runner as Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
We'll see. But dude's thick. He's built his body up. He's got a great running game. I mean, just like y'all's game. It was running game after running game. It was running game against running game. And every once in a while, you'd see Jalen Hurts throw the ball. He really didn't even throw the ball that well, which makes, he hurt his shoulder a little bit before the season ended.
yeah.
So people have a lot of questions about that shoulder, just like they have the questions about Mahomes with the ankle. When you look at that dominant offensive line, the dominant defensive line, which
Reddick
yes.
coming off the defensive end gave us trouble.
Dude, yes.
Gave us trouble the playoff game. So.
And they went and picked up, even more, Ndamukong Suh is on that team.
He's on there.
They went out and got, former Tar Heel. Can't think of his name off the top. He used to play for the Rams, too. I can't even think his name. I'll think about it in a minute. Went and made some big pickups. Got the A.J. Brown trade early in the year. How do you feel about the Eagles? Those Fly Eagles fly. And a new coach with Nick Sirianni as well, who was definitely looking like every time they win, he's standing up in the stands just over, yeah, look at me go.
The Eagles can start fast. They can put it on you fast.
Mm-hmm. They can defend the lights out, too. Their defense is great.
They can, but is their defense Mahomes worthy?
That's what they're getting ready to see. You are definitely about to find out. Now, it looked pretty against the Niners, but also the Niners went through, I'm pretty sure the center was the quarterback at one point.
Yeah. They had like 5 other people that never played quarterback would be quarterback. Well, I take that back. When they did hike the ball to CMC, Christian McCaffrey, he did play a little bit of quarterback at college, did some stuff, but they had one play and it was a dunce. But anyway,
and then before that, you've got Daniel Jones, never been there in the playoffs before. Their team is young, up and coming, but not ready. You saw them blow them out. But you saw in certain games, I believe it was if I remember correctly, it was the Colts game. It forced them. They had some issues when Matt Ryan was on target each and every play. He was on target. Unfortunately, ended up losing that game to the Eagles. But we've saw times where if your front line can handle that D line for just long enough, where a solid quarterback sitting back there, they might be able to pick them apart. And that the Commanders game, which they lost to the Commanders, but they ended up shoring up with Ndamukong Suh. They have shown an inability to stop the run in certain situations.
They have.
Now, with the addition of Dominican Sue, that helps a lot. But you see them slowly but surely. They try to shore up everything as much as possible. And I still think their corners might be. And if you get like a Juju Smith-Schuster, or you get who's the other one? I can't. Is it Nicole Hardman? Is he still there?
I don't know.
I don't remember the Chiefs' offense that well. But you get those wide receivers out with Patrick Mahomes and the accuracy. Do you think that they can pick apart those corners?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, look, here's the thing. You got to put pressure on Mahomes, and you got to put so much pressure that he can't really throw when he's running away from. Mm-hmm. If you put a little bit of pressure and make him run out, I mean, he's still gonna find that person. But you really got to have somebody trying to hunt him down. Mm-hmm. If you can hunt him down and stop the run for Kansas, you might have a chance. If you could put the ultimate pressure on Mahomes and make him make some mistakes, maybe get a few turnovers, Eagles would definitely have a chance to beat.
Yeah, I actually believe in order for the Chiefs to win at all, there cannot be a turnover. There can't. Because the Eagles will make you pay for that.
They will.
Because I believe it's going to be a question of whether or not can Mahomes not turn the ball over, and can Jalen Hurts make the throws? Because when you saw in that AFC Championship game, let's go back to the AFC Championship game a little bit. You saw the Chiefs. You saw the Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams couldn't run on each other.
No.
They stopped every single. It was a passing game. The whole game it was. And I have to give credit for the Chiefs on that. So I really think that they're going to try their best to put it in Jalen Hurts' hands in order to make him beat them. If you're going to beat us, you are going to have to beat us. It will not be their running backs. It will not be Sanders. It won't be any of those guys. It's going to have to be you, Jalen.
I believe that. Yeah.
But that's all we're going to stop right there. And here's the reason why. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. This is the first show that we have done ever, hopefully. Like I said, hopefully more to come. But I think we should do another show very soon. Very quick. Very soon. I'm thinking Super Bowl Sunday.
Live?
Let's make it live.
Wow.
So how about this? How about we do a little something like this? Remember I said earlier, you asked me the prediction for the game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give it to you until the very end of the live Super Bowl extravaganza, live from my back porch with Mr. Torrey Clyburn. I think we're going to have the grill going. We're going to be chilling out, doing some stuff. We got, I've already got some sliders sitting back at the house, ready to rock. We'll have some of that. We'll be watching a Super Bowl.
I smell it already.
Yeah. Might do some chicken. I don't know. I'm figuring it out, But we want to do a little live show for you guys. Let's start this thing off right. Let's get everybody in. Let's have a good time. Let's sit back and relax. We're gonna do a little live. I think about an hour-long Super Bowl extravaganza. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be, I think, a good time. We're gonna make our predictions live. We're gonna talk about the game. We might talk about some other stuff. Who knows? I might have an announcement for another show that's coming up very soon. Yeah. Got a couple of things going on right now, dude. It's gonna be awesome.
You don't want to give it away too much away, right?
I might.
The
Heel Brothers.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. Yeah. I'll go more back into that on Sunday. How about that? We'll have a little
Heel Brothers. What is that?
Yeah.
Talking about your feet? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah? You gonna call it something about your foot? Okay.
Yeah. It's like a footsie game with my brother.
Wow.
So yeah, we're gonna do a little live show on Sunday. We're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's gonna be a fun time. We hope to see you guys there. Come on out. Bring it on out. Yeah. We're gonna be doing it live Sunday. I believe the game starts at 7:30. If I remember correctly.
Check that time right quick.
Yes, I'm gonna make sure I'm not lying live on. Look at that. Make sure I'm not lying. Breaking news. The Lakers have gotten D'Angelo Russell in a 3-team trade. Breaking news. This is why you do this. This is why we check the. Okay,
Where did Russell go?
Okay, so the Los Angeles Lakers have agreed to a deal to land D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt in a team involving the Utah Jazz. So in the trade, the Timberwolves are going to get Mike Conley, Nicole Alexander-Walker, and picks, while the Jazz will get Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson, and Damian Jones, and the 27 Lakers pick. And I'm pretty sure that the Lakers will get the Lakers are going to get D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt.
What did I just say? What did I just say? Get Russell out of there and start.
We'll just trade one Russell for the next.
But that's the good Russell though.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. So that's gonna be interesting. We'll break down more into that on the Super Bowl extravaganza.
Super Bowl, baby.
It's gonna be fun. And like I said, let me double check the Super Bowl time. It starts at 6:30. So we will be live from 5 to 6 Sunday. Yeah, 5 to 6 Sunday. We'll do that. That'll be a good time. Yeah. So Super Bowl extravaganza live from the back deck at right there next to the grill, chilling out, having a good time. Hopefully you all will join us there. Thank you all for listening and watching episode 1 of For Torrey. I'm Nathan, and for Torrey, I'm Nathan. Thank you all for watching.